Hi guys, how's it going? It's Julian. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to be reading an article from the Time magazine, and the name of the article is AI could reshape everything we know about climate change. It's an article which takes like 6 minutes to read, so let's go for it. With one announcement, Chinese AI startup DeepSeek shook up all of Wall Street and Silicon Valley's conventional wisdom about the future of AI. It should also shake up the climate and energy world. For the last year, analysts have warned that the data centers needed for AI would drive up power demand and, by extension, emissions as utilities build out natural gas infrastructure to help meet demand. The DeepSeek announcement suggests that those assumptions may be wildly off. If the company's claims are to be believed, AI may ultimately use less power and generate fewer emissions than anticipated. Still, don't jump for joy just yet. To my mind, the biggest lesson for the climate world from DeepSeek isn't that AI emissions may be less than anticipated. Instead, DeepSeek shows how little we truly know about what AI means for the future of global emissions. AI will shape the world's decarbonization trajectory across sectors and geographies, disrupting the very basics of how we understand the future of climate change. The question now is whether we can harness that disruption for the better. "We're just scratching the surface," says Jason Bortoloff, who runs the Center on Global Energy Policy at Columbia University, about the implications of AI for emissions. "We're just at inning one of what AI is going to do, but I do have a lot of optimism. Many in the climate world woke up to AI early last year. Over the course of a few months, power sector experts issued warning that the US isn't prepared for the influx of electricity demand from AI as big technology companies race to deploy data centers to scale their ambitions. A number of studies have found that data centers could account for nearly 10% of electricity demand in the US by 2030, up from 4% in 2023. Many big tech companies have worked to scale clean electricity alongside their data centers, financing the build out of renewable energy and paying to open up dormant nuclear plants, among other things. But utilities have also turned to natural gas to help meet demand. Research released earlier this month by Restart Energy, an energy research firm, shows that electricity utilities in the US have 17.5 gigawatts of new natural gas capacity planned, equivalent to more than 8 Hoover dams, driven in large part by new data centers. As concerning as this might be, the projections for short-term electricity demand growth might mask much more challenging risks that AI poses for efforts to tackle climate change. As AI drives new breakthroughs, it will change consumption patterns and economic behavior with potential to increase emissions. Think of a retailer that uses AI to better tailor recommendations to a consumer, driving purchases and emissions, or consider an AI-powered autonomous vehicle that an owner leaves to roam the streets rather than paying for parking. At the most basic level, AI is bound to generate rapid productivity gains and rapid economic growth. That's a good thing, but it's also worth remembering that since the Industrial Revolution, rapid economic growth has driven a rise in emissions. More rapidly, More recently, some developed economies have seen a decoupling of growth from emissions, but that has required active effort from policymakers. To avoid an AI-driven surge in emissions may require an active effort this time too. But AI isn't all risk Indeed, it's very easy to imagine the upsides of AI far outweighing the downsides. Most obviously, as DeepSeek shows, there may be ways to reduce the emissions of AI with chip innovation and language model advances. As the technology improves, efficiencies will inevitably emerge. The data center build-out could also catalyze a much wider deployment of low-carbon energy. Many of the technology companies that are investing in AI have committed to eliminating their carbon footprints. Not only do they not only do they put clean electricity on the grid when they build a solar farm or start a nuclear power plant, but they help pave the way for others. Governments are starting to realize that if they're going to attract data centers, AI factories, and wider technology companies into their countries, they have to start removing the barriers to energy, renewable, renewable energy, says Mike Hayes, head of climate and decarbonization at KPMG. And then there are all the ways that AI might actually cut emissions. Researchers and experts group Researchers and experts group the potential benefits into two categories: incremental improvements and game changers. The incremental improvements could be manifold, meaningful. Think of AI's ability to better identify sites to locate renewable energy projects, thereby greatly increasing the productivity of renewable energy generation. AI can help track down methane leaks in gas infrastructure, and farmers can use AI to improve crop models, optimizing crop yield and minimizing pollutants. The list goes on and on. With a little consideration, you could probably identify a way to reduce emissions in every sector. It remains difficult to quantify how these incremental improvements all add up, but it's not hard to imagine that emissions reduction, thanks to these developments, could easily outweigh even the most dramatic estimates of additional pollution. And there and then there are the game and then there are the game changers that could in one blow completely transform our ability to decarbonize. At the top of that list is nuclear fusion, a process that could generate abundant clean energy by combining atomic nuclei at extremely high temperatures. Already, startups are using AI to help optimize their fusion reactor design and experiments. A fusion breakthrough supported by AI technologies could provide a clean alternative to fossil fuels. It could also power large-scale carbon dioxide removal. This could give the world an opportunity to stock carbon out of the atmosphere affordably and pull the planet back from extreme temperature rise that may otherwise already be baked in. If you think like a venture capital investor, you're betting 1 or 2% of incremental emissions, but what could the payoff potentially be? Ask asks Cooley Kavnes, co-founder of Crows, an AI infrastructure company. It could be things like fusion, which could address all the emissions. For those of us, myself included, who haven't spent the last decade thinking deeply about AI, watching it emerge at the center of global economic development story can feel like watching a juggernaut. It came quickly, and it's hard to predict exactly where it will go next. Even still, it seems all about certain that AI will play a significant role shaping our climate future, far beyond the short-term impact on the power sector. Exactly what that looks like is anyone exactly what that exactly what that looks like is anyone's guess. Yeah, until now that article, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna put the source of this article on the description below. Give me a like and subscribe and turn on the notifications so you can realize when I upload a new video. Take care and see you in the next one. Bye bye.